My name is Angela Murchison. I grew up in Del Paso Heights from birth. I'm an only child. I had stepbrothers. My mother had a husband. He had two sons. But I was raised in the home alone. They came over on weekends, or I went to my real dad's house on weekends. I went to Fairbanks Elementary School. From kindergarten to 6th grade, graduated there. I went to Las Palmas Junior High School from 7th till 9th, and then I went to Grant, and I graduated in '83. My mother and father, my stepfather, they worked. They took very good care of me. I didn't want for anything. There was a lot of violence and a lot of alcohol and drugs in my family circle, though. My uncles were in and out of prison. I was molested as a child. I've been to prison 3 times. I've lost my children 3 times. Once was me handing them over to my mother. The second time, my mother had to go get them out the system because of my drug abuse. The third time, my mother was deceased when my kids were removed. So I had to go do it all on my own. I was told by the judge that I wasn't going to get my kids back this time, the attorneys and everybody. And that's when I entered into the Calvary Christian Center Women Overcomers program. The kids today it's peer pressure for these kids. And, you know, I had to go break the generational curse. Drugs, alcohol, prostitution, pimping, selling drugs if you wasn't using them is deep in my family. And I knew that I didn't want that for my children. My oldest 2 daughters were strung out. I got clean, and I prayed for them. Instead of trying to go save them, I just prayed for them, and God brought them in. They're clean. One's in Job Corps, one got her GED. She's taking heavy equipment operator. The other one has a son. She's working at a beauty store place where they do hair. They're in their own places now. When we were all shacked up in one house, I'm in my room doing my thing. They're in the closet, the garage, wherever, doing their thing, bathroom. And the other kids were just running around until CPS came and got them, you know. So it was just, God's done an awesome thing in my family, you know. So my constant prayer is that the generational curse be broken and that my sons and my youngest daughters don't have to experience what the older ones and myself and my mom and family members have had to go through. I gave my will up, and I started asking for God's will to be done in my life, in my thoughts, in my actions, not knowing what I was asking for, just hearing other people do it, seeing it manifest in them. So I started saying it and believing it and receiving it, and it became a part of me. I couldn't connect my kids really with church, and I was like, I need some kind of program, Lord. Something for these boys, because they're not getting it. They're not understanding, you know. They'd go to church with me, but they draw, and I know they was hearing things, but I just didn't see them reacting to it. And it was time for him to graduate from 6th grade and sign him up to come to Martin Luther King School, which is Isaiah. And when I brought him here, there was someone here saying they were going to be starting up a program for kids with no father in the home. Perfect. I'm a single mom. Don't really know what to do with boys. I know I told God that if he gave me my kids back, the things that I had signed them up for and started them in, that if he allowed it to come back around, that I would participate in it this time. Because there was a time when I signed Isaiah up for, you'll see a picture of him, for the Salvation Army. I didn't go back and get him. I left him there. And I went and got high. And my older daughter had to go get him. So those kind of promises, you know, just give me another chance. Well, he's been in basketball and football. This is the 3rd year. I haven't missed a practice. I haven't missed a game. It's just an awesome thing what God has done for me and my children. I never thought that I'd be sitting in front of a camera telling anybody about how good God is, or about how my life has changed and how my children have changed. Isaiah was a very angry little boy all his life. He came to this program. Not only did his grades go from a 1.3 to a 3.0 in the first year, but he gets along with other kids now. he talks about God. If something's going on with my son, he'll ask me to pray for him. They pray with me. They know the real men's confession, which is something that the men overcomers men learn. They know of our heart. They read their word now. I couldn't connect them because I'm a woman, so maybe it's that. They came here and started working with these men, and they don't have a problem with mentioning God, asking for God's help, asking me to pray for them, asking to do things that are connected with doing something for God. You know, Mom, I need to put some money in because we're trying to bless some homeless people. You know, things like that. Man, this program has just done an awesome thing with my son. So yeah, Freedom Hall is our family. That's an extended family that we plan on holding on to. I had deadbeat dads for all my children, I'll be honest with you, until recently. Isaiah's father right now is incarcerated, but he does write Isaiah, and Isaiah communicates back to him. And he's saying that he's going to be a part of Isaiah's life when he gets out, so we'll have to see. Well, I'm sure you guys have heard that there's been a lot of gang-related things going on in the neighborhood here at the school. My boys have had actual friends or associates involved in it, and they could have easily been sucked into it, but they chose to get on over here to Freedom Hall and learn how to not be a part of it, how to stay away from it, how to say no to drugs, to cigarettes, to alcohol. All that goes on here. You know, some have been caught, some haven't. And peer pressure is really strong. Yeah. You know, so Freedom Hall is teaching these boys how to be strong, how to know what they want for themselves. And then Freedom Hall gets to talk to them about some things that they may not be comfortable talking with Mom about, you know, because they're boys. So they get to share with their mentor, you know, what's going on, how they feel, you know, change of life type things. And they shoot the breeze, but me and the girls can't ask him nothing because he'd be like, I'm talking to you about that. I have actually witnessed them work with the boys, take them places. They tutor them, they mentor them. They are very, very highly respected role models. Not only do I respect them, but my boys respect them. Isaiah speaks highly of them. You know, he's always got something nice to say. He's always telling me about what he's learned. I don't know. I can't say that my sons would be non-gang related if it wasn't for Freedom Hall. They have somewhere to go after school. They have a positive something to do after school. There's a lot of kids that just roam the streets and find themselves caught up in stuff that they really didn't even have any intentions of being a part of. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now you're a part of this. There's a lot of families that could use some help. There's a lot of single moms that could use some help. As a single mom myself, I know this mentor program has been life-changing for me and my children, and thanks to my learnings as well as what Freedom Hall Shoulder to Shoulder program is teaching them and is doing with them. I got some real men, and God is good.